Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. Daily Mail today. Trump claims Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has already dropped the case against him for paying $130,000 in hush money to star Stormy Daniels. Trump told reporters traveling with him that he believed the case was over. Yes! It comes 7 days after he said he expected to be arrested on Tuesday. But the week came and went with no apparent grand jury indictment. Donald Trump should give free membership to Mar-a-Lago to Jim Jordan and James Comer. House Oversight Chairman James Comer and House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan. They were going to ask the questions that I've asked in the past 6 or 7 YouTube segments prior to this one. If anyone does a tiny bit of research, Hillary Clinton's super PAC, one of her super PACs, was working directly with Michael Avenatti, the lawyer for Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels got an $800,000 book deal. In addition to all the positive media coverage, Jimmy Kimmel appearance. So, in addition to Pelosi, and I talked about this the other day, stating in Politico that if the tables were turned, Republicans would be very much involved. So she basically saying that Democrats were involved in all of this. Jim Jordan and James Comer were going to ask if there was any link between the Democratic Party and Michael Avenatti, the lawyer for Stormy Daniels, was actually speaking at DNC events because he was supposed to be running for president. Okay? So this is the wonderful Democratic Party, the morally superior, wonderful Democratic Party. He was being advised by people linked to Bill and Hillary Clinton, according to Politico, according to the Daily Mail. The articles are all below. You can see the 2 articles below. Actually, no, you have to go to the YouTube segments prior to this one. You can see the Politico and the Daily Mail articles talking about Hillary Clinton's super PAC and how one of her super PACs and how it was linked to Stormy Daniels through Michael Avenatti. The way that Democrats work is it's a political machine. They work through consultants, advisors, political advisors, public relations executives, staffers, people, congressmen and congresswomen, different polling companies, and you can look at the DNC emails just to see that they're friendly journalists. It's a machine. People are rewarded for playing ball. Okay? So you have Democrats, liberal Democrats in New York, New York is Tammany Hall, late 1800s, early 1900s. It's a political machine. They went after Trump for something the FEC didn't even think was a crime. Okay? The FEC didn't even think it was a crime. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. This is huge. According to the Daily Mail article, Donald Trump has claimed Manhattan's district attorney has dropped a criminal probe into hush money payments a week after claiming he'd be arrested within days. Let's say Trump, heaven forbid, was arrested or indicted, then arrested by the grand jury. Very simple. Manhattan district attorney, the Manhattan prosecutors, they would have to then either under oath or through testimony under oath or through documents, answer all the questions from Jim Jordan and James Comer. Did any of the prosecutors in New York have any contact with any Democrat in Congress? Any super PAC? Michael Avenatti. Well, they did contact Mike. They were, so there you go. They worked with Michael Avenatti, who was then linked directly to the entire Democratic Party apparatus. Okay, he was actually speaking at DNC events. And if you look at the Politico articles, he was working alongside all of these people linked directly to Bill and Hillary, but also he was, when they asked Democratic Party representatives or candidates or people within the Democratic Party within those Politico articles about Michael Avenatti, they would say, oh, well, you know what, he's a really strong and wonderful candidate. Okay, so the question is, if you have Stormy Daniels and her lawyer, if you have her lawyer as thinking of running for president as a Democrat, what kind of connection does that have with the Democrats in New York that are after Trump? And they don't see, the Democrats in New York don't go after Bill and Hillary's foundation, which has a litany of scandals. Democrats don't go after Hunter. They don't go after Joe. There's what they do for public relations purposes. They'll say, oh, well, there's a classified data probe with the president, and the federal government's looking into Hunter. It's like, well, there are already felonies within Hunter's emails, according to the New York Post reporting. There's 150 banking transactions. Trump has none of this. Trump doesn't have private servers siphoning classified data. Okay? I wrote about that in The Hill, The Huffington Post, other publications. You can go to hagoodman.com to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. He doesn't have servers with top secret intel siphoned onto them. Secret server. Can you imagine if Trump had secret servers? Could you imagine? They would be saying that he was selling all of our secrets and then using the money to build more hotels in the countries he's selling the secrets to. And they would believe it. And the Atlantic, the New York Times, Washington Post, Vanity Fair, Esquire, CNN, MSNBC, Jimmy Kimmel, they would all say the same thing. Are you kidding me? If he had secret servers? I think it's a little bit, more egregious than boxes at Mar-a-Lago from a former president who could declassify anything. Could you imagine if Trump or Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr. or Kushner had a laptop full of not only incriminating emails from a financial sense, but photos and videos that are incriminating in terms of felonies beyond financial crimes. Okay, so Trump doesn't have any of these legitimate, bizarre, incriminating scandals. He paid hush money. He pressured on a phone. He's impeached because he pressured on a phone. In Georgia, he pressured in a phone call. And then they go after, and then they just, when before with Crossfire Hurricane, the Federal Bureau of Investigation probe into Trump, they got people on lying to agents. They didn't get people on working with the Kremlin, because they know Democrats know how to use government, media, loyalists within the U.S. government. They don't write a letter saying, we are Democrats, we're going to help the Democratic Party. No, but you'll have text messages, we'll stop Trump, or he's a menace, from people investigating Trump. So you might not like Trump's personality, but we had record low poverty with Trump in 2019. We had record highs in household median income. We had a much better foreign policy, Doha Agreement, first president to step foot in North Korea, Abraham Accords, all of these achievements. That's without the government even backing him. And media every 2 seconds going after him. The world knows. Even Democrats know they just after Trump because they despise him. Nothing to do with the rule of law. He won a huge political victory and legal victory also. They can't stop Trump. They can't look at him and say, oh, well, our policies are better. The economy stinks. Foreign policy is a catastrophe. We're 90 seconds to midnight. According to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, it's directly related to Biden's foreign policy. But people have convinced themselves that Trump is the embodiment of criminality. No, media and Democrats in like state level in the federal government. Democrats have focused their entire existence on trying to investigate Trump and find something, while there are actual crimes on their end. And then you have friends and family disowning friends and family because they're oblivious, they're clueless to all the criminal activity within the Democratic Party, because all they hear in media is Trump is a criminal. But they can't get him because he didn't commit a crime. They're Hunter, Joe, Hillary. I think Hillary Clinton will be the 24 nominee. Hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. And bottom line, according to Trump, it's done. They tried to get him and arrest him, but it would have led back to, it would have been thrown out on appeal because either the prosecutors were influenced by Democrats, indirectly or directly. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now.